All right, let's get more reaction on the medium-term budget policy statement. Reuben Maleka, the Assistant General Manager of the Public Servants Association of South Africa, joins me now. The PSA represents more than 235,000 public sector employees. A very good evening to you, sir. Thanks indeed for your time. So Minister Mboweni is proposing a public sector wage freeze over 3 years. Will this fly with the sector? I mean, that's been upset since February.
Look, thank you very much, Griselda. From our side as PSA, we are very disappointed with the attitude of the minister. We believe that the minister where he's sitting is even undermining other ministers, because you can see that instead of giving other ministers opportunity to play their role, because issues of whether there's going to be wage cut or freezing is a matter of collective bargaining. So you can see that the Minister for Public Service Administration is absent in the whole scenario. And he even went to say that he's busy talking to us as of March. But I can confirm that since March, we have never, in fact, had an eye or a conversation with the Minister for Public Service Administration. Yeah. And we are more worried because if the minister can pronounce on issues of collective bargaining in his budget speech, what is the purpose of collective bargaining? He is ultimately attacking collective bargaining, and we are not going to allow him. We are going to fight. We are going to make demands. We are going to make sure the workers get what they deserve at the end of the day.
All right, so this is before the courts. I mean, does government have the right to renege?
Look, they don't have a right, because we believe the agreement that was signed in 2018, it is now part of the contracts of employment. Then they need to honor the contracts of employment. But we are no longer worried about that, because they've shown disregard of this process. They even went to court to say that the agreement was unlawful. The agreement that the state signed, they say is unlawful. So we are going to make sure that on the 2nd of December, we are going to present our case, which is a watertight case. And once the judgment is out, come the 2nd of December, we will going to make sure that we follow all legal process to ensure that it's implemented, and every public servant receives salary adjustment backdated to 1 April 2020. That we are definitely sure about. What we are more worried about, it is his attitude on the attack of collective bargaining, pronouncing issues of collective bargaining outside of the collective bargaining arena, making statements as if he's now the super minister. No other minister is going to say anything because he had said something. That we are very much worried about it, and we are going to make sure that that comes to an end. Yeah.
Perhaps, Mr. Maleka, you could educate us here a bit. I mean, one of the questions I was asking myself this afternoon after the minister had spoken, I mean, how is our wage bill compared, to other countries of a similar size? There's always been criticism that the public service wage bill is extremely bloated.
Look, the issue of whether this issue always that comes that says the public servants or public service wage bill is bloated is not true. First of all, if today the minister could even budget 10.5 billion for SAA, that tells you that even the preference or the allocation is skewed. Because how many times has SAA been rescued? Yes, of course, we understand why they want SAA, because it's a transport for them and the haves to go around the country, flying to each and every province or country of their wish. But one can look at it objectively, that why could they not even actually look at SABC? Because SABC is a source of information, is a source of a need to many of country, the poor, the rich, everybody depends on SABC. But because they want to serve themselves, they want to go and divert the whole money into SABC, and probably because it's an easy way of looting the money, because we know what happens when the money goes to SAA. There's going to be looting. So there is no way that we can listen to anything that says there's a problem of wage bill or there's a problem of fiscals if they still intend to feed the money into a hole, which is called SAA.
Mr. Maleka, just very quickly, we've really run out of time. And I mean, I guess to add to that, perhaps a lot of criticism this evening over the 10.5 billion. But I guess it begs to ask the questions, what about the teachers and the nurses, I guess, who have done a sterling job during this global pandemic, who others would argue on the other side of the coin deserve this money?
Definitely, you are on point. I mean, our public servants have, through the whole process of COVID-19, when everybody was running into their houses, hiding from this enemy called COVID-19, all of us were even afraid to go outside. But the teachers, the correctional officials, the cleaners in the hospitals, they went to every day to make sure that they serve the public. And what is the response of government? They are saying, no, they don't deserve it. So we are going to make sure that end of the day, and we're not demanding much, because this is what has been agreed to. It's not something that we're making a demand on. It was agreed in 2018. It was budgeted for. So the teachers, the correctional officials, the police officers who worked very hard, the nurses, everybody else who's a public servant deserve the salary adjustment. Come the 2nd of December, the PSA will make sure that they get what they deserve. They must have a good festive season with their salary increase in their pockets.
Reuben Maleka, thank you very much indeed for your time. The Assistant General Manager, Public Servants Association of South Africa. Also coming up here on the program after the break, though, with many companies facing job cuts and retrenchment, employment law specialist Fatima Saliji unpacks the process involving the Section 189 of the Labour Relations Act. Let's take a break, though. Francis will have that when we get back.